Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels down here at Quest Golf Studio here in Lytham, and I'm now going to be hitting the Benross drivers. We've got the Htx driver, which I'll come to. We've got the Htx Type R, which I'm going to hit first, and then there's the gold version, which I've still got in my bag over there. That's kind of for a slightly slower swing speed, so I'm probably going to get my 13 handicapper to test that Rob Potter. If you don't know Benross, or never heard of Benross, first off, I've got some iron reviews already on my channel. It's worth going and having a look at those. Benross is a UK company that claim to make premium products for a much lower price point. So I want to see if that's actually true. Does it still perform, even though the price would reflect it? It shouldn't do. It's much lower than some of the top names. I'm not going to actually say the price because that could vary between now or another few months down the line. If you're watching this video, it could vary. But I'm sure if you do some research, you can find out. But I know it's much, much less price point. The two drivers, the Htx and the Htx Type R. Htx is designed for forgiveness. It's got the weight back. Htx Type R is for the slightly longer ball or for the slightly better player. I quite like that Type R. It gives it quite a sporty feel. With the Type R, what you get is a big kind of footprint of a head. I think it's a massive looking head. It's black and grey with a very simple arrow at the front of the face, which I think is really key for alignment. When you flip the club over, it's got a weight port in the middle of the head, slightly closer to the face, and it's got this, what they're calling a CT response channel. CT is characteristic of time. Apparently that's what the RNA test for now. So it's how long the ball is on the face for. And apparently with that channel, it's hitting the absolute limit. Be interesting to see if that's the case. This has got an changeable neck, the Type R, not the normal version. The Type R's got a changeable neck. I've got this in 10.5 and I've cranked it down to 9. It can go up as much as 1.5 degree and it can come down as much again by 1.5 degree. When it does go down, the face slightly opens, which would suit me mainly. When I look at the actual head underneath, it does look pretty good. It looks pretty premium. It looks, you know, if you put that against some of the top brands, it would hold its own in that category. It does look smart. It doesn't look cheaper. And what's good about it as well is it actually got a very good shaft in. This is a Kuru Kage shaft, and it's got a Golf Pride Tour Velvet grip. So they've not you know, saved on materials of shaft and grip either. I've just got this in the X-Flex. I've not been fully custom fit for this, but this should pretty much suit me to where it would be. And you know, I know it's an X-Flex, and somewhere around 9 degrees pretty good for me. So let's hit it on GC2, and I'm going to hit some of the original one as well, just so you can kind of see how it compares. I actually like the look of that head behind the ball. It's a slightly kind of triangular shape going back, but it looks big. I don't know whether that's because of that arrow. It makes it really stand out. Let's give this a hit. That felt really nice. Slightly off the bottom of the head that time. That might just spin up a little bit higher than what we want it to. Not a bad carry distance at all. What's that in 270? 275 for a 291 total. I think it's going to, yeah, it's going to spin up at 3,000 just because I just caught that slightly low on the face. But considering it wasn't, by my own credit, a good hit, wasn't a terrible result. Let's go again. That felt good. That felt really nice. 270 again. 290 total. It felt better. I wonder if it did spin any less. It felt like it was slightly higher off the face that time. What did it spin at? 2795 spin rate. So slightly lower than the last one. Both decent enough hits, both decent enough carry, considering, again, the difference in the price point. What I'm going to do after this video, I'm going to challenge this driver against some of the big names. Might do it against the TaylorMade and the Nike driver just to see how it compares. Because Benross are doing this challenge where you can actually go to a Benross stockist and try your driver against the Benross, and they'll give you a prize, and they'll even put you in a name for a hat to win a prize over the month. I don't mind telling people this, They've told me to, you know, they said that this was going on. I don't mind telling people this, because why not? There's nothing really to lose. It's worth just seeing if a slightly lower price point club can still perform against some of the big guns. Let's go one more. That's the best hit of the three. That is the best hit of the three. I don't mind it pushing slightly right. Yeah, that's a much better hit. You can see there again, you had 300-yard golf shot. And that carried near into the 280s, 280 on the nose, so 298 total distance. That would have spun less. Oh no, not too much less, 2,900. Not super, super low spinning, but I wouldn't imagine it being incredibly low spinning anyway. Just because the weight isn't ridiculously forward. Let me just show you the shots of the three there, so we can have a look. So, give you some data. The ball speed coming off the face there was at 164, which is about normally what I would get. If I get a hot one, I can get it up to nearer to 170. Spin rate was averaging at 2,900 for an average carry distance of 276, which is good. It's healthy. For a total distance of 293, it did feel good, and it does look very welcoming behind the ball. I was impressed with that. I was impressed. I didn't think, I say it wasn't the super lowest spin rate in the world, but it kind of did its job. So what I'm going to do now is move into the HTX, just the normal version. Now the difference is with this, it's non-adjustable neck, and the weight is further back. Now this is not going to suit me. First off, it's in too much loft. It's in 10.5 and I can't crank it down. And the shaft isn't extra stiff, it's just a stiff. But let's give it a whack anyway, see if there's much of a difference. Like I say, the only big difference is that weight is further back and it's not got the adjustable neck. Just noticed there on the back of the head. They're the same size, aren't they? Yeah. I just noticed on the HTX it actually says 460 on the back of the head. It doesn't on the normal, but I'm sure that would be 460, that shape of head. Same shape of head, it just more loft. Like I said, this isn't going to suit me brilliantly, but let's give it a hit anyway. Yeah, it's going to be too high and too much spin, I'm afraid. But still felt as good as the Type R. I couldn't really sense any huge difference between the two there. Yeah, it's going to spin at 3,500. That weight further back should give a little bit more support to an off-centered hit. It should help the twist. Yeah, 3.5. There's no point. I'll hit one more of these. There's no huge point. And I'll move into the challenge. That against a couple of the big names and see how it actually performs against those ones. So I think I hit the tee with the camera then. Yeah, okay. You know, I never know this is. I knew this wasn't going to go super distance because it's just not spec'd for me. But quite like the clubs. So I knew that the HTX would spin up too much. Therefore, it's lost me about 10 yards of distance. But I actually like the feel of the face off both. They didn't feel foreign. They felt solid. They had a good sound to them. I think they look smart. Certainly from the top, they look smart. From underneath, there's a little bit of fine tuning that could be done, you know, just to really make it a super sharp product. But is that going to make the huge bigger difference when it comes to the price of it, really? I'm not sure. Guys, stay tuned. I'm going to jump on the challenge next. And I would definitely, you know, encourage you to take the challenge up yourself. If you can get to a Benross stockist, you can take your club against their club or a top name against their club, see how it performs. You know, there's not a lot to lose. It'd be interesting to hear the results of those. Comment below if you get a chance to do that challenge, because I'd love to hear if there's any difference between this and the top name. You guys would be amazing if you could do that, because it'd be great to hear your feedback. Stay tuned. I'm going to do this take the Type R into the challenge. Feel slightly anxious about how it's going to deal with it, but we'll see. And then stay tuned. We'll get that up next. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.